Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I am Constance and thank you for joining me in the next episode of my English class. Before we begin this class, let's start with the topic, oblige and its meaning. That's what we're going to be talking about today, oblige and its meaning. But before we go any further, this is July, the month of recognizing or acknowledging the nurses or the medical staff on the island of Jamaica. So today, or at least in this video, I would like to give my acknowledgement or a word of shout out to the nurse to stay strong and thank you for your work. All right, I post on my page, my Twitter page, and also my Facebook page, right? Acknowledging the nurses of Jamaica. That is this month, July. It's the month of nurses, or not nurses, but I think medical staff, medical workers, right? Medical workers. Acknowledging medical workers. All right. So if you want to give a shout out to the nurses or the doctors or any of the medical workers in Jamaica, please do so. Alright, so oblige and its meanings. Alright, oblige has more than one meaning. It has more than one meaning, and in these examples examples written in sentence, we are going to see how we can pick up the different meaning, or we can understand the different meaning of the word oblige. Alright, so number one, to do a favor for someone. To do a favor for someone. So in this example, the elderly lady needed help up the stairs and I was happy to oblige. I was happy to oblige. So in this case, you were happy to help her, right? You were happy to help. You were happy to help. So the elderly lady needed help up the stairs and I was happy to oblige. Right, so you were happy to help. In number two, to do something as a favor for someone. To do something as a favor for someone. That is the next meaning of the word, or definition of the word oblige. The children's clothing. You're doing something as a favor. The children's clothing were burnt to ashes, and the church was very happy to oblige. The children's clothing were burned to ashes, and the church was happy, and the church was very happy to oblige. So in this case, they volunteer to help, or they volunteer to assist. So that's a next way of looking at the word of oblige. You give of your time, right? To give of your time. To give of your time for something. For something or someone. Sorry. Or someone. So you give of your time for something or someone. So the church was quick to gather clothing for, for the, from the parishioners, so they can assist these children whose clothes were burnt. Alright, so you're doing a favor, you're assisting, you're giving of your time. Alright, it's not you just seeing somebody and want to help them. But you know there's a situation which there's no other way out, so you are going to help, so you oblige. So that is the next way of looking at it. Number 3, I don't want to mess up my blouse. Or though it is a favor. You do it as though it is a favor. And this example, they begged for water and she obliged with both water and food. They begged for water and she obliged with both water and food. So in case as or though it is a favor. So or though it is a favor, you again you see a need and you participate to assist someone with that need. So you oblige that person or those persons with whatever they need to have accomplished or they need to gain. All right? So let's look at number 4. To force or require someone to carry out a task. To force or require someone to carry out a task. So that is the same meaning of the word oblige. You're forcing someone to do something. The prisoners were obliged to sleep on the floor. The prisoners were obliged to sleep on the floor. So whomever is responsible for overseeing the prisoners, what you call them, the warders, are forcing these prisoners to sleep on the floor, even though they have a cot. They have the option to sleep somewhere else, but they are being forced to sleep on the floor, even though they have a cot or they have a bed or whatever is provided for them to sleep on. So the same word oblige here is to force. So you are assisting, you are helping, you're volunteering, you're giving of your time, and here the same word is telling you to force. So you see the contrast, the opposite, to force or require someone to carry out a task. So the prisoners were obliged to sleep on the floor. So this is the same word oblige. All right? To sleep on the floor. So they are being forced by the warder to sleep on the floor, even though they have a bed. In the next scenario, you could have the Minister of Education obliges the teachers to inform the students of the pandemic. The Minister of Education obliges the students to inform the students of the pandemic. So in this scenario, the teachers could have easily know that there's a pandemic and walk, but their boss, the head one. In this first example, you have the warders forcing the prisoners to sleep on the floor, which will look sort of humane or demeaning. But this is now in the Ministry of Education. The Minister of Education is obliging the teachers to tell the students that there's a pandemic and what they need to do to protect themselves during this stage of pandemic. So it's a way that he's forcing them, he's demanding, not really forced, but demanding that they tell the students to take care of themselves through the pandemic. So they have to wash their hands, wear masks, distance, and all of that. Right, so distance themselves from probably each other. So the Minister of Education obliges, so is demanding for the teachers. In this case, it could mean to demand. To demand the teachers to inform the students of the pandemic. So in this case, it's demand. In this case, it is force, right? In this case, it's sort of volunteering. In this case is what? It is help, right? This is, you want to help somebody, you want to assist, you want to give of your time to assist a person. So I hope you have a better understanding of the word oblige, how to use it. It can mean to assist, and it can use to mean a force, and it can use to mean to demand, and it can mean for you to volunteer your time to assist a person, all right, or a cause. It doesn't have to be a person per se, but a cause. All right, so take a good look at these examples. I hope they drive home the meaning to you of the word oblige. My name is Constance. You can use it in your literary work, right? Whether you're writing a novel, or you're doing paper for your school, or you're doing your IELTS exam, or your CXC exam, or any other English exam that you're trying to pass, or have to participate in. All right, my name is Constance, and I thank you for joining me in this class. I look forward for you joining me in my next class. But before I go, I would love for you to like, to subscribe, to share, and also hit the notification bell, so whenever I post a video, you will be the first to have it. All right, and also check the description box. Check the description box for my merch, where you can find books, t-shirt, codes, a chapter a day which will keep the devil away. All right, so check out the description box for whatever information I have sharing with you that is not being shared in this class. All right, guys, I love you, I thank you, and I appreciate you, and I look forward to you joining me in my next class. Until then, bye-bye.